Hare Krishna, let's go, credit repair experts.
Credit repair experts.
Sorry
Actually,
we're
it's just
late.
one expert. He's the only expert. I'm actually not a credit repair expert. I'm just a credit repair guy.
I'm sure that's a company already, credit repair guy.
There probably is. Yeah. I have heard of one called That Credit Repair Guy. I'm pretty sure.
That credit repair guy, let's go.
I like it. I'm a little bit jealous of his name.
We'll go to my page. All right, I see that we're live. Very good.
We are live.
I'm gonna have that here. Watch the comments from Facebook and let you guys come on in. Come on in. Come one, come all. Which y'all get in here. I'm sure once y'all see 1099s, y'all gonna stick around. A little bit more interesting.
The 1099, the mythical, magical piece of paper with the four corners.
Yo, what's up, Marcus? Come on in, man. 1099, are you out of your mind? Hashtag
He doesn't go by Marcus. He goes by Mr. Smith. I know, because if my last name was Smith, that's what I would go as also.
We're talking about 1099s today. Yes, we are. And full disclosure, before we talk about anything, I am not an attorney. Jesse is not an attorney. We are not CPAs. This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Anything said in here, if you have any doubts or questions, please seek an attorney or a licensed financial advisor.
Yes. Although do not seek a licensed attorney, because there is no such a thing. You just got to find somebody who's a member of their club, the bar club.
Yeah, if you can find a licensed attorney, let me know.
Yeah, let me know too. I would love to see a licensed attorney.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about the forms. I'm not going to tell you to do anything or put anything in any boxes or file anything with anybody. Just talk about the forms and just talk about what they are.
And I think we should also talk about how you can fill them out differently in contrast to how other institutions or entities may tell you should fill them out.
Right. I mean, we could. So I'm gonna give everybody just a couple more minutes just so people can come in. While we're waiting, if you're watching this video right now, if you're on Facebook, click that react. Give me a heart. Give me a like. Give me an excited. Give me a love. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, please. It really helps our algorithm out a bunch. We are trying to reach the 5,000 subscriber mark for our channel. We're slowly but surely getting there. Once we do, once we get close, once we reach, once we're a couple hundred subs away, we're going to go ahead and announce our giveaway, and we'll tell you guys how to enter that. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, check out our YouTube channel. Just look up Credit Repair Experts. You'll find us. We do live streams. We're a little late today. I was actually on with a estate planning company. Really, really awesome conversation that I had with them. It inspired me to accept Jesse's proposal on today's topic. And if you guys want to get in touch with us, if you need assistance getting your credit where it needs to be, you can give my office a call or our office a call, or you can shoot our office an email, and we'd be more than happy to assist you guys. And again, if you're watching this live, hit that like. If you're watching the recording, hit that like button. It just helps us out so much to reach out to more people about this key information. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right in today. So the big topic is 1099. Are you out of your mind?
Yep. And if you follow the Facebook page, you can see that I made a post about 1099s yesterday. So if you haven't seen that post yet, go over there and check it out. It just really covers the basic information of what the various 1099s forms do, the A's, B's, and the C's, and what they're used for. So if you already know what they're used for, then you're going to love this video.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that being said, 1099s, what are they? Well, let's just start off with the super basics. And I kind of want to ask this question first. I want someone to give me, where's the post? It's on Facebook. If you go on our business page on Facebook, Patrick, you can find that post. Now, I want to actually get a little bit of participation here from the viewers. I'm going to give y'all 1 minute. I'm going to ask y'all a key question. In 2 words, what is a 1099? What is it? Or what do you, even if you don't know, what do you think it is? Okay, I'm going to give y'all, I want to test y'all's knowledge before we move in, because everybody be talking about 1099s. Everyone be talking about, what these tax forms are, all this stuff. But what is a 1099? That's my question. I will link my Facebook, y'all, so that you can see this. Go ahead and just type that in right here. I'm going to give y'all another 20 seconds. Let you know, let me know what y'all think a 1099 is.
I don't know. Abandonment of debt.
Abandonment of debt. Okay. So
Acquisition of debt.
now, Kish, those are specific kinds of 1099s. A 1099 is a transaction report. Okay, so it is just a transaction report. Specifically, it is a domestic transaction report. Okay, so there's 1099s A, B, C, OIDs, INTs, NEC, right? All kinds of 1099s. So 1099 is a transaction report. And so there's different kinds of transactions, right? So Marcus says a way to write off debt. Not quite. It's a way to record transaction. So there is nothing about, there might be something involving debt in a 1099, but it totally depends. The 1099A, it tells you what it is, an acquisition or abandonment of secured property. 1099B is for barter and exchange of security or broker-dealer. 1099C is cancellation of debt. 1099INT is to record interest payments. 1099NEC is non-employment compensation. 1099 OID is original issue discount. 1099, we can go on and on and on. There's so many different ones. 1099Ks. And so all of these are transaction reports. Okay? They might not involve debt. They might involve credits. They might involve property. They might involve interest payments. They might involve, dividend payments, etc. So all these are 1099s. And it's simply to tell the IRS that you're reporting a transaction. Okay? So that being said, now that we know what a 1099 is, so we know a 1099 is a transaction report, why do people think, and I want you guys to put in the comments, why do you guys think that if you give the IRS a 1099, that somebody's going to get paid? If you send the IRS a 1099A, what actually prompts them to get paid? What do y'all think that is?
And what type of transaction, Brendan?
Let's just say that we're acquiring some sort of property. We're trying to acquire something. We're trying to acquire a car, trying to get a house. We're trying to get something. Okay, why do we think that filing a 1099A gets somebody paid? Esther says, because I have used it to do so. Well, so that's not the question, Esther. The question is, why does the IRS pay out because you give them a 1099? Why? Why do they pay? It's
You drop a hint.
well, I want them. Hey, you gotta give them some time. There's a little bit of lag probably, so I give them a little bit of time. But you know, I'm asking also because I don't claim to be the master of all. So y'all might know something that I don't. And but what I do know, and I can give you guys a little hint, why the IRS actually pays out is because several reasons. Can you be more specific? Yeah, the green screen office is awesome. And because they're the accountant. Yes, that's probably the closest answer. Yeah, they're the accountant, meaning you already have funds or at least credits that you have access to. And so you're telling them to apply those credits to this transaction, to a particular seller or something. I want the credits from my trust, or I want the credits from something to be transferred over to this individual so I can acquire this property, for example, the 1099A. And without us recording it, they wouldn't have it to report it to the IRS. Yes, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but yeah, no problem, Kish. So yeah, we're telling them what to do as the accountant. They don't have the IRS doesn't have any money. They're just a fiscal agent of the Treasury. Is what the IRS is. And so when we're telling them, when we're filing a 1099A, we're letting them know that we're going through this transaction, but that's not the only thing we're giving them. Okay. We also, because the 1099A actually functions as a check, that's why you need to have the physical copies. Those are special kinds of paper, versus a 1099C doesn't, you don't use those special paper. So 1099As that's on special paper. It's actually check paper. It can be written as a check. And so that's actually the instrument. When you're making the claim, that itself is the instrument. And so when you're issuing an instrument, you also have to do a corresponding OID, which is what people also are required to file. And a lot of people don't know what the OID is either. Original issue discount means that it's the discounted price or the sales price or of some sort of issued instrument. So a bond, for example, whenever you sell a bond, that's the bond is a negotiable instrument. And when you sell this bond, you need to report the sale of that on a 1099 OID. Or if you collect interest payments off of negotiable instruments, you report that income on an OID. 1099 INT is specifically, I believe, for bank accounts, interest payments on accounts. Esther says it's a call of the stocks that the A and the B or another 1099 like a K or S. The 1099C is what sells those stocks on the market, not the OID. Yes, that's correct. That's actually the cancellation of the debt. The OID is to markate the.
It's the accounting.
Yeah, it's to actually markate the income that was generated. The C is what actually does the transfer. That's correct, Esther. The C is what actually does the transfer when you cancel the debt. But the OID is to actually report the income on a issued instrument and the original issuer specifically. So why is this important to understand? Because while a lot of people are learning about it, and there's a lot of people that are doing a great service and like actually distributing this information on YouTube and trying to help people are trying to acquire property. We get kind of hyped up a little bit, and we don't really, sit back and understand how this transaction or how these mechanisms are working. It also makes the idiots trying to avoid paying taxes on their income pay their taxes like the rest of us. Yeah, that's right. And I know who you're referring to. And it's not just any regular idiots. It's the high wig, highbrow, self-important people who a lot of times work in government. So, when you don't understand the intricacies of the accounting, you run into an issue where when you're working with, let's say, a car dealership, this is really popular. They're going to be very apprehensive to want to do some of the things that you're asking them to do in order for them to get paid, because they can tell that you don't comprehend what's going on. Not because what you're doing is illegal or what you're doing is incorrect. It might be 100% factually correct, but if you if you can't see from A to Z how the transaction is being effectuated, that's going to show in your body language. It's going to show in the way that you're conducting business. And the main key of the sovereignty movement is not to get free stuff or to even get money. The key of the sovereignty movement is for the people to take responsibility back, which we delegated those responsibilities to these fiduciaries, and they're operating as abusive trustees, and we're not holding them accountable for that. So the main crux of the sovereignty movement is to retake our responsibility. And how do we retake responsibility? By taking responsibility for knowing how to do the accounting, at least on a material level. The actual responsibility is to retake our responsibility as souls of this planet and as arbiters of the planet. That's actually what it's for. So it's not a political movement. This is not an economic movement. It's actually a spiritual movement. Okay, this is key. So when we're talking about 1099s, we're just talking about accounting, and we're talking about how the IRS receives these forms and what they're actually trained to do with it. The reason the A's are on back order is because everybody's just kind of shooting their shot. Nothing wrong with it, but they're just shooting their shot, and everyone's trying to utilize this information to try to improve their material circumstance. And I don't think
I would actually argue that there is something wrong with it, because they are creating a back order and they're not doing everything properly. It just creates back work for the IRS and makes the entire process for everybody else slower.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's true in one way, but also it's the IRS's responsibility to be able to supply those things as more people begin to learn about how to do accounting.
Agreed.
The IRS has definitely dropped the ball in numerous occasions. You guys have probably heard about in March of 2021, the IRS destroying, I think it was something to the effect of like 5 million different paper returns that they have received.
I didn't know that.
Simply because they couldn't process them. Esther says big companies hate when you use a 1099-C. It's the lawyers that have made it so incredibly hard to use these forms. They took away the terminals about 25 years ago and made themselves middlemen. That's right, especially in the IRS. A lot of those IRS agents are attorneys, and they make quite a big cut. They place the CRIS system, which is, you guys don't know, the court registry investment system, in front of the FIRE system, which is that's the online filing system for IRS forms to monetize instruments more, up to 48 times more. Wow, Esther, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that part either.
Yeah, dude. It is the Bar Association that's the problem. Yes, this world is run by attorneys. It's the attorneys that gum everything up. It's all the middlemen, broker-dealers, attorneys, agents. It's these middlemen in between the principals, because we're the principal. The people, we're the principal, and then the individual businesses that we're working with are the principal. It's all these middlemen in between that gum up the works of everything. I see it all the time in my dealings.
They've inserted themselves into a position where they don't really have to do anything, but they're well compensated for it. Like, we're the middlemen. We run a credit repair agency, and we find the clients, and then we're partnered with somebody who actually does most of the footwork for fixing the people's credit. But we are a partner with him because he's excellent at fixing people's credit, and we're really good at finding people who need credit repair. So we work together. right? But we're kind of the middleman between the people who need their credit fixed and somebody with the skills to actually be able to do it. Now, we know how to do it also, but he's way better at it than us because he's much more equipped and he's built out his business to do that. But just like how, it's beneficial for us to be the middleman, they've put themselves in a position where it's super beneficial for them to be the middleman. But they've taken it a step further and created a monopoly to where you have to go through them. You can't go straight to the source.
Yeah. And in certain cases, that's actually appropriate because everything comes from the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, we can't go to the Supreme Being directly. We have to go through his authorized representative. We have to go through the spiritual master. So the only problem is when you got people posing as that position and taking advantage of that because of it. It's a necessary thing, and everybody knows that it's not what you know, it's who you know. So nothing wrong with middlemen here, but the only issue is that when they don't allow the principals to meet. The whole purpose of the middleman is so that the two principals can meet. Okay, when you're doing a real estate transaction, the whole purpose of the real estate broker is to bring the buyer and the seller together and allow them to meet. But a lot of times what they happen is they gum up communications and they restrict the principals from communicating with one another because they're trying to cut themselves into the deal as much as possible. This stuff is has been totally overrun. That's why in England, attorneys are called solicitors there. So the name speaks for itself. They're just solicitation. They're doing solicitation, soliciting a service. Yes, Esther, that's true. The CRIS system utilizes 3 bonds: the bid bond, performance bond, and the payment/surety bond. And it has its own insurance policy. It's always 6 transactions per charge for each jurisdiction. Yep, that's right. So, and all those, that same way that the bond system works also works in regular contracting. Contractors do that in general. They post bid bonds, which is just their promise to bid a certain amount, that this is how much it'll cost. The performance bond, which is, posting that, they're going to perform, and in exchange for a payment bond and a surety bond. And that way everybody gets paid. There's security on each part of the transaction. So that way nobody's getting left high and dry with any of the materials, or, people get paid and job doesn't get done. My father worked as a project manager for the General Service Administration, so he dealt with this all the time. And but for actual building projects, they don't tell you the higher level stuff that they're doing with the contracts that they have with the prisons and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And there's also side things that go on within those too. So there's like the public part of those, which like your dad was building a courthouse, right? And then there was a public side of it where he was just building the courthouse. But then the judge also threw in some personal funds to make a safe house in the courthouse. And then that was off the books.
Correct. And that's why they get so sweaty when you ask them to file the OID. Because the OID is for the original issuer. They're the original issuers of those bonds. And you're just asking them to report to the IRS, when you issued those bonds and how much you sold them for.
Because they're a nonprofit, so they're not supposed to be making any money.
Yeah, or they're an LLC, or they're registered as an actual for-profit business sometimes. But each of those courtrooms are listed as some sort of statutory entity. And so they're bound by the IRS code. So, and all that has to do with 1099s. It's just a transaction report. So it's much bigger than getting a car. Like, it's way bigger than getting a car.
Right.
And maybe one day we'll get to the point to where everybody will at least be in the position to be able to do the accounting properly, or at least have somebody help them.
We're actually, on that note, Brendan, this is a project way in the future, so we haven't really talked about it, especially on this channel. But we are creating an actual university where we will be teaching everybody the accounting side and how to do the financing and everything. And we'll be releasing like a full course for people to be able to enroll, to be able to learn all these accounting principles and how all of this works. Eventually, we haven't got to it yet, but it is a project that we're actively working on behind a couple of the other projects we're currently working on.
That's right. So look for that teaser here in the future, y'all. We will have a public education platform going. If you want to help that get done faster, click that like button and click the subscribe button and click that bell icon so you can get notifications. Let's get the notification squad. Come on. So if you're watching, we got 21 people watching on the live credit repair channel, on the YouTube channel. I need to see at least 21 likes.
That's double the amount that we typically get. We should talk about more private stuff more often.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hey, we had to get all the basic stuff out the way first.
Sure.
Everyone's got to know. We got 14 likes on here. I need 6 more likes. Let's go. That helps us out a ton, y'all.
One gets a correct one status with an 8811 before one uses an OID. Actually, I haven't heard of the 8811. Brendan, are you familiar with that?
Yeah, you're what was it, 8822, 8811. What he's essentially saying is that you don't file an OID yourself unless you have a bond on file. But when we're dealing with the court, for example, we don't file the OID. That's something that the judge has to file. The accountant needs to file that.
Yeah, and if you're not don't you have to know somebody really in order to actually get a bond on public record, like on file, where you can actually discharge off of the bond?
It's called a drawdown.
Yeah.
So it's not discharge, it's called offset, the debt moving. The discharge is different.
Oh, yeah. Did I say discharge?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
My bad. Yeah. I did actually mean offset. Discharging, of course, is just, getting rid of the debt. You're discharging it.
Yeah.
Or really, it's transferring. It's actually not like deleting debt.
Yes, they do it in your name, Esther. They forge the judges forge a certificate of participation to be able to actually trade those instruments on their private market. So they forge your signature every time. So when you do the OID, that's when the IRS starts prodding, or you ask them, you request for the OID. You don't actually file it. Or you let the IRS know, hey, my accountant was supposed to file the OID, but he didn't. I filled it out to the best of my ability. You might need to look into this for further, clarification. And, the courts hate that. I can speak from experience. I had a judge who I signed him as fiduciary via Form 56, and he got very, very nervous. And so he decided to no longer have me come into his venue because I was kind of gumming up his operation a little bit.
Yes. And whenever they forge your signature, there's another form in there where they say that you forfeit any proceeds that come from the bonds as well.
Yep, Esther just said that they claim it as a gift or donation, so they don't have to pay taxes.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Yeah. And they may not have to pay taxes on it, but they still need to claim it. They still have to report it. And if you request the OID, that is a necessity because you were not aware of the fact that they originated an instrument in your name. So you need to know how that even happened. That's why you're requesting the OID.
Of course, the goal, whenever you get onto like the high levels of using the 1099s and everything else, whenever you're administering the trust, is to actually not even show up in court. So, what you do from a high level is you just, you can pay them to avoid, the corruption that comes along with not paying them and trying to argue it. You just, say you get a ticket, you just pay the ticket like you typically would, but then you do the taxes on the back end. So that way you can avoid getting your driver's license suspended or any type of like warrant placed out in your name or anything like that. You don't have to fight them. You just pay it on the front end, and then you do the taxes on the back end, and you recoup that payment.
That's correct. Yes, and remember, this is not financial advice.
It's not financial advice. It's just, something that you can do.
Yeah. If you would like to hear some friendly suggestions from us, feel free to give our office a call. Give us our office a call. Send us an email. where we're just here to give some friendly, entertaining discourse.
Entertainment. Just some friendly
Big Dave
entertainment.
says, "Eat the rich." I'm good, dude. I'm good. We don't condone violence unnecessarily.
Oh yeah, that's why a person must be represented. The courts and the banks, the lawyers, etc. They claim it as a gift. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Title 26, 2032A, subsection E, 11 is a thing. Do you want me to look that up, Brendan, or are you looking it up?
No, I think they saved this in the chat, so we'll just go back later and look through all this. We really appreciate you guys giving all your little nuggets in there too. I like the participation, so feel free to give in more nuggets. Actually,
Absolutely. But in the meantime, let's continue with the 1099 form. So we talked about the A, which is the acquisition and abandonment. Well, no, actually, we didn't talk about any of the specific ones. We only talked about what it is.
yeah, because that's really most important. The specific ones they tell you, right? They
Right.
tell you on the form. So,
Right.
Reading comprehension is the biggest thing when it comes to accounting.
It is, absolutely. And then whenever you understand that it's all accounting, it opens up new roads to be able to use it, especially whenever you're filling out as either a debtor or a creditor. Like, because then you would fill the same form out two different ways.
Exactly. So Esther's given some good nuggets. 8,300 makes them report income over 10,000. I have seen judges release people from jail. Let me do something actually.
Wow.
Because I want to make sure that this chat. I'm gonna search something real quick. I want to make sure that do live chats.
Save in the YouTube?
Yeah, for YouTube gets saved.
I can just look it up.
We begin today with a rather shocking event.
Yep. After your live stream ends, it will be archived and viewers can replay the video along with the live chat.
Nice.
Live chat only shows up on YouTube watch pages, not on embedded players. Okay, awesome. Play the video along with the live chat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Perfect. Well, that's good. Hey, we got all that documented, Esther. We appreciate it. Feel free to keep dropping them nuggets. I know a lot of what we're talking about, but the specific forms and numbers are the things I have to do over and over again to remember. So we really appreciate sharing what you've taken your well acclimated time to being able to learn this information. I was super favored by Krishna, dude. I barely understood any of the 1099 taxes. I didn't really have any idea how that worked, but it made sense at least how they're at least making money. I at least understood that, okay, you have a bond. They're gonna make money off the bond, so go ahead and do the taxes. Yeah, they just don't want to have that stuff scares them, dude. They don't have anything to do with it.
Can somebody help with an existing car lease? Can no longer afford the payment.
I don't have any experience with that. With leases you have to really look at your contract. The first thing you need to do is give notice. Try to work with the people you're leasing from. Always try to work with them. Give notice first. 7021, 7202, and 7206 violations is what they fear. Oh, I'm sure those are tax evasion.
Yep. Esther says, I can help with forms and numbers. It's the implementation. That's a bit of a challenge. You have to file the 4506A before you can file a 211 whistleblower.
1099A require the lease.
Yep. Acquisition or abandonment, 1099A. Again, post is on Facebook, so if anybody is curious about what the A's, B's, and C's do, then you can go on
send it. Hey, send it to me, and can you type in the chat, Jesse?
No.
All right, send it to me in Telegram. I'll post the link here in the chat so people can look at it.
Okay. Let me pull
Yeah,
the
make
file.
sure y'all hitting that like button, man. It helps us out so much. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. There I am. Let's go. Like button. Oh, you sent me the picture. No, you're supposed to send me the link to the Facebook post.
Oh, the link to the Facebook post?
Yeah, so that way people can look at it.
Oh.
Also, Jesse, on the second line, there's a typo. You put borrower instead of borrower.
Oh, whoops. I had to go back and edit the whole image, man.
You got to proofread it. We don't have a Telegram to give
I'm just
out.
going to send it to you in Messenger.
Yeah, I don't have a Telegram, guys, yet. I've done group chats and stuff like that before. It's just I always just like it's too much.
I shared the post to you. I shared the post to you in Messenger.
Okay, great. Bro, you sent me the image again.
No. You have to click on it, and whenever you open it, I think it's supposed to open the actual post. Right?
I mean, it did, but it just gave me the photo. So don't worry, I got it.
I'm getting old, man. I don't understand how to use technology anymore. The older I get.
It's all right. Yeah, you can message me on Facebook, Esther. Send me a friend request though, because it goes into my message requests and I won't see them. I know all the people are on Telegram, dude, but it's just like, for number one, Telegram is not secure anymore, and I don't even know if it ever was.
Actually, I think that's a myth. The guy who owns Telegram is, I think, some Russian guy. Facebook made him an offer on Telegram, but he didn't sell.
Oh, okay. So they tried to make it seem like he wasn't secure. Huh?
Yeah, they sent him I think they made an offer for like $20 billion.
Dude, that's nothing. They did the same thing to WhatsApp.
Yeah, they made him an offer, but he didn't sell.
I wouldn't have sold either. But I am on Telegram. I have Telegram. I'm just saying I don't have like a public Telegram group because it's just hard to keep those organized. You know, it's like everyone just kind of chimes in and does this thing, which is cool. But you know, that's why I'm building this public education platform, so it can kind of be more organized. You can have more of like a forum structure, so like specific topics can be discussed in different venues.
That's why Discord is the best.
I don't know, dude. I really like Slack a lot.
Slack is good too. Yeah, that's just Slack has a limited space, so you have to start deleting some things in order to keep up with it. With Discord, it's all right off the server.
True. So, yeah. So, I really don't want to divulge too much into specific forms today on the 1099. I'm trying to keep the information general, and then as we build our content here on our channel, make it more specific. It's really, really important that we hammer in the basics and hammer in the general understanding. Okay. Yeah. So for example, with accounting is not math. Accounting is how we account for the movement of digits, how numbers change.
So wait, Brendan, you're saying accounting is actually just accounting for something and not mathematics?
Yes, I am saying that. That is correct.
Wow.
I know, right? Kind of crazy. But that's how it is. It's not math. Math is easy. The math's easy. It's just math. It's literally basic arithmetic: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and percentage. Using percentages. That's really all. There's not really any hard. Might be some basic formulas for interest calculations and things like that, but the mathematics is not what makes people get such a big headache when it comes to accounting. It's the way that transactions are labeled, right? So it's what's passive income, what's earned income, what is income, right? What is expenses? What are qualified expenses? What are, all these things? These are These are the real, that's the real crux of accounting that's difficult. That's why there's kind of ambiguity, and not every accountant agrees with each other. Some people will say that you can't use your trust to buy food, right? Because that's a personal expense. It's not really having to do with the trust. But if you structure the trust in such a way, then you can just borrow against the trust and then use that to buy food. I mean, so is that, what is that? That's all. And so that's why the IRS has affirmed that earned income is based on the trust instrument. It's not based off of IRS code. What qualifies as passive income and non-passive income is up to the trust instrument. It's a discretionary trust. It's not up to the IRS to determine that.
Yep. So that's why before you can even actually jump in to the accounting side of things, you should really comprehend the philosophy of what you're trying to do before you dive into the accounting, because the accounting might not even be applicable with what you're actually trying to do with it.
Absolutely. And, also another big thing is a lot of reasons why people don't get the results that they want out of filing forms with the IRS and just filing forms with government entities in general is because they do a lot of homework on you. And so there's a level of charitable activity that is embedded in requesting large amounts of funds from the government, because the government's acting as trustees. So they need to make sure that when you get those funds, the funds are going to be utilized for their proper purpose. Their job is to not fulfill your self-aggrandizement lifestyle. Yes, we need things, and it's okay to have nice things, but their job is to make sure that the funds and the revenue of the United States are properly attenuated. And so if you're using those funds to actually make the country better, to actually help assist the people of the country, to actually make a real, true impact, which can only be done spiritually. If you can do that, then the government will, by law, release the funds that you originated, that you were the creditor of. They will release those funds. But if you're showing that you're not competent to handle your affairs, then that would be a dishonor for them. That would be irresponsible of them to release to you those funds. So anytime you're having difficulties, never say it's the government. Never say yes, even though we know that there are rascals attorneys. We know that there are rascal government people. You should always look within into yourself and be like, why isn't the creator giving me this result?
Right. And
why is it? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and the reason that they might not release funds to you is because they can tell that you are incompetent whenever it comes to managing those funds. And they are trustees, so they have a duty to the trust and to make sure that if they are releasing those funds, they're only doing so if they know that it's going to be in the benefit of the beneficiaries. So you have to be able to show competency in order to actually get the results that you're looking for. I just kind of wanted to expound a little bit on what why they might not do that, Brendan.
Absolutely.
Because in the end, they are trustees and they do have a fiduciary responsibility to the trust. So we have to know these things.
Yes, absolutely. And just like Talia was saying, it's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. Yes. We always have to remember this. It's always spiritual. As soon as we forget it, then we lose our ability to take proper action. Right? Because Krishna tells us that in Bhagavad Gita, like, those who suffer is due to lack of knowledge and lack of knowledge alone.
Yep, absolutely. It's like, if you say you get a trust from us, right? Because we have a trust service, and you go into it and, you go through our entire process where we're able to, we take the time to fix your credit. We are able to move you into the funding stage. You get, a couple $100,000 that you can use. You take some of that, you park it into one of our investment accounts that we can give you guys access to. And then all of a sudden you're making this money. And then that money, we you structure it in such a way where it goes to the trust, and then you get paid out from the trust, and then you have, your first trustee, right? The person who's managing your trust with you is like your best friend or something, and then all of a sudden, he's making $10,000 a month, which is probably way more than he was making previously for a lot of people. Then what happens is, you find out that those people that you thought that you could trust, money comes into the picture, and all of a sudden they're acting different. And without that knowledge, though, you couldn't have, or without knowing that how he's going to act, you can't assign them to be your trustee. So be very careful. Try to glean all the knowledge that you can before you guys go around just frivolously making people trustees of your trust.
Exactly. That's a great point, Jesse.
It's like Brendan and I are pretty detached from money, actually. Monetarily speaking, we really just use it. Like any excess that we get goes into our projects. We don't like spend it on lavish things. And if we do spend it on lavish things, it's because we're just trying to show people, hey, what we do works. They go, where's the proof? Like, look at the car I'm driving.
Yeah. And it's like the stuff, who cares? Like the stuff is cool, but I used to have in high school, I had way more stuff than I have now. And, I was balling out and I was miserable. I didn't have any fun. So it's the main, everything, the real enjoyment comes from spirit. Like the reason I like Jesse is because I'm interacting with his soul. He's using this body he has as a medium. If Jesse were to leave his body right now, I would not be still enjoying my company with his body. I would have no enjoyment having company with his dead body. I'd be getting it in the ground. It's the soul. It's the exchange of the souls that is the real enjoyment. So that's why I used to tell my stepdaughter this. I would say, how would you feel about having a birthday party all by yourself? It's like you had everything: balloons, candles, the cake, the ice cream, the everything. That you have a birthday party, but you had it by yourself. Be no fun. Right? She agreed. She like kind of cringed at the idea, and so we I said, well, what's really fun is all the people, right? So yeah, cake is good, but sharing cake with everybody else, eating cake together, is 20 million times more fun. And that's a very childlike way of describing, where real happiness comes from. The wealthy are happy, or hopefully some of the wealthy people are happy because they use their wealth to have a favorable exchange with others, whether they know them or not. That's how the really wealthy get down. Now, there's other people who are wealthy, but they're not maybe materially very wealthy, but they are very poor in spirit. They're poor in health and poor in spirit. That's why you see all those judges, they're freaking like decrepit looking, and they're just sitting on the bench till they're like 70, 80 years old, just exhausting their body, just trying to pull out as much enjoyment out of it as possible. Like, nah, dude. So, yeah, Esther says trust law is what everything is based on. Yeah, it is. Because the original trust is between us and the Creator.
Yep.
We're the trustees here. He's the grantor. We're supposed to do it for the benefit of his children, everybody else.
Trustees are based off of the trusts are based off of the Holy Trinity.
Yep, exactly.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You got the grantor, the trustees, and the beneficiaries.
Exactly. So we'll reach the 50-minute mark, guys. I want to take the time to take comments and questions and things like that. I know we talked more generally. I'll be doing more videos on this here on the channel.
We'll go into more detail on exactly what the different 1099s are and how you can use those. But we just wanted to give a brief comprehension on what a 1099 is before we really dive in too much into the meta. I've used a 1099-C for the hotel I was staying in since March. Found out that Extended Stay America is actually BlackRock. now Blackstone. They also control HUD. Sad, isn't it?
I mean, this world is there's nothing for us here. Well,
you wanna leave it open for the next 5 minutes and just see if any questions come in? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, that'd be
Any
great.
questions about 1099s?
Any questions about 1099? Are you out of your mind? We all have to change it together. That's right. We change it from within.
Oh, you got an award, Brendan.
I got an award?
Yeah, Restream sent you an award.
How? What does that mean?
I received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Oh, like the 100 chats?
Yeah.
Where are you guys located and can I contact you? We're located in Fort Worth, Texas. You can contact us here, man. That's our office number. Or you can shoot us an email.
John would say, where do you live? He would say, here, in my body.
Yeah. I don't know who you is. You is anybody who owes a debt to the United States.
John cracks me up, man. I love him. We gotta get him on one of the streams.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should have him as a guest on one of the streams. I want to start bringing more people on our team because just so you guys know, I think we've said this before, we're not the only ones in our company. We have actually multiple people in our company that are super key to its operation. So we have to give them a big shout out, and hopefully we can introduce them either on a stream or on a separate video. But yeah, make sure if you guys are just tuning in, click that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell icon. That helps us out a bunch, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Without them and without you guys, we would just be people who know things.
Yeah, and that's boring.
That's super boring. Yeah. It's just like the cake reference. You can have a cake, but if you don't have anybody to share it with, then you're miserable. We can know all this stuff, but it really doesn't do us any good if we can't share some of it.
I agree. Yeah, leave it open for questions, y'all. Questions, comments.
Dos más menos. You're welcome, Jackie.
Yeah, remember, at 5,000 subs, we're going to do a nice giveaway. So we'll announce that as we approach closer. We do a live stream every Wednesday around noon Central Time. Let's check the Facebook. Let's see if anybody.
Do you have a Telegram group?
Let's check the Facebook. Let's see if anybody.
That's weird.
Do you have a Telegram group? Let's check the Facebook. Let's see if anybody. That's weird.
Brandon, can you mute the video?
Let's check the Facebook. Let's see if anybody. Oh man. Do you have a Telegram group? No, we don't.
Esther does, though.
Yeah, Esther does.
What's your opinion on Chris Hauser's 1099A process? He's missing. I have 20, but not proceeded with a car acquisition, even though I need one.
My opinion on his process is I think that he's definitely getting implicated into something. I'm not sure. I don't know much about Chris Hauser personally, and I honestly didn't even watch any of his videos, but I've been a part of his Telegram group, and I just have the feeling that he may be in. He may just not be associating with people who have his best interest in mind.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
And
I
if you guys want to save yourselves a lot of pain, what I would do, you know, if I had other friends and I was trying to explain to them the best process to be able to avoid any kind of like crazy legal implications or anything like that, just take the traditional route if you're going to be financing something like a car or something, and then just make your payments like you typically would, and then at the end of the year, make sure to do your taxes. Just do your taxes every single year after you paid for everything, and you will be able to recoup most of what you spent. So if you know how to do them properly.
Jackie, we don't do financial advice.
Yes. Came in late. Are you saying you're helping people with 1099A? No, as Brendan said, we don't do financial advice. So we don't help other people do their 1099s. There are people who can do that. It's just, that's not us. We don't help people do that stuff. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think so too.
In terms of doing 1099s and stuff like that, like I said, we are working on a university where we will be teaching this information to people, essentially how you guys could be doing it yourselves. But right now, that's not something that we're doing, especially with this channel in particular. We just wanted to talk about 1099s because it is debt, and we are a credit repair company. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand, knowing how debt works and knowing how you can fix your credit. You can't say, oh, I don't know what debt if you don't know what a debt is. So
yeah, make sure you all are watching all of our previous videos. Watch all our previous videos. It's really good to get back to the basics.
Heck yeah. All the best players in any league will tell you the only thing that they do to be the best in the league is practice the basics more than anybody else. Brendan.
What's that?
You want to go ahead and end the chat, bro?
Yeah, sure. All right, Christian, everybody. Thank you all so much. Read the instructions, 9465 for the installment agreement. Be sure y'all give us a call or send us an email if you need any help. And we look forward to seeing all you beautiful spirit souls here very soon. Hare Krishna.